Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dragon Ball Speak, a show where we summarize and review every episode of Dragon Ball Z, and we rate them each on a scale of 1 to 7 stars. Wesley here has never seen Dragon Ball Z, but he's seen the original Dragon Ball. I've seen Dragon Ball in its entirety, and I read it and I keep up with it. This is episode 57 of Dragon Ball Speak.
57.
One of your hosts, Brandon. Damn, dude, what's going on? I got a lot on my mind right now.
And I'm Brandon.
You're Bram Wesley.
Brand Wesley.
All right, so starting with episode 186, or do you want to get the big?
Gohan.
Do you want to get the big stuff out of the way first and then go through, or?
Yeah.
I am really curious to hear a lot from you today.
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Not because of the show, because we only have time to record 3 episodes or watch 3 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
We do a double every 10 episodes, but I would have done a double today, even though I also have shit to do. Because this ends on such a big old cliffhanger, and I'm pissed about it.
Dude, were you expecting the cliffhanger?
No, not at all.
All right, so just to catch up our viewers, we're going to go through everything and talk through everything, but we did end on episode 188, A Hero's Farewell, in which
Goku
not
instant
only
transmissions old Cell out to space to save the day. He dies. We're back in Snake Way with horrible King Kai. And then he's like, wait a second, Cell's not here. And I'm like, oh, shit. And it's because Cell is not dead.
You thought it was over.
I thought it was like super over. And I was like surprised, too, because I'm like, wow. That they usually take their time taking out villains. That was a quick, 6 episodes. But alas, some clouds happen. And then a big old powerful beam goes and takes Trunks out and Cell's back. Very, it's what I've been thinking was going to happen every arc, where someone shows up and just wrecks shit, and you're like, uh-oh.
It's like in the span of 5 minutes, boom, Goku's dead. Boom, yeah. Trunks is dead.
Everyone's crying, sad moments. The music's really heartbreaking. Goku's dead again. He's on Snake Way. Jesus Christ. Cell's back. Oh, my God. Trunks is dead. Which, as I've already posited before, I think Trunks dying
you
is
called
okay.
both.
I called a lot of
But it's sad because that Trunks is dead.
Yeah. So now we have to wait, theoretically, 15 years before.
And regardless, that means he never returns to his timeline and rights the wrongs.
And saves the day.
So that timeline is just done. Eternally in hell.
Yeah. Rest in peace. But yeah, super cliffhanger. We literally don't have the time to watch more episodes. Otherwise, we 100% would have. Even if it was just one more episode, we would have done it. But
I think that would have been really good if we could have watched one more. But,
yeah, time.
But this makes it spicy.
Juicy. Yeah, it's juicy.
Spicy and juicy, as they say, the ultimate combination.
Yeah. So let's run it through. Run it back.
Let's run it back, and I'm gonna ask you questions as we go. But the Unstoppable Gohan. I love how in the beginning of this, Trunks flies over to Krillin, and he's like, Krillin, are you okay? Krillin's back literally got broken 10 seconds ago. His spine is broken.
They're all supposed to be pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Goku and Vegeta are messed up. They need sensu beans, so to speak, but
Krillin had a sensu bean.
Krillin and Tien should pretty much be dead.
They were probably on the brink.
Yeah. Tien Scorpion.
Yamcha's arm was broken.
Yeah, and Yamcha's ribs should be destroyed.
Oh, for sure. But the sensu bean, dog.
Yeah, sensu bean. The all saving.
I need to get me some of them.
I know. I want the new sensu bean, not the old one that just fills you up.
Yeah.
So the episode it's a pretty straightforward episode. It's mostly Gohan and Cell trading blows. Well, if you want to call it that.
Really,
but there's a lot of little revelations we learn from the side characters talking.
Yes, the majority of the action in this episode, the majority until the very end, is Gohan effortlessly dodging, more or less.
Yeah, and he's a tank. He's tanking too.
Yeah, at the towards the end, he actually does tank a very hard punch.
Yeah.
But regardless, this is basically Gohan's way of telling Cell, it's his way of frustrating him and getting to him. He's not even really fighting back. He's just dodging, and Cell can't hit him. And yeah, they say Gohan isn't even trying, and he's and he's dodging everything. And
this is where Goku reveals that he went first, so that Gohan could, I guess, subconsciously or consciously watch Cell's fighting style and pick up on it, which helps a lot because right now.
He's blocking everything.
Yeah.
Blocking blocking or dodging every single hit.
Not even flinching. I'm not even convinced he's feeling the block. He just puts his arm up and it blocks it, and he's good.
Yeah.
Dude doesn't even like changing his face.
They make him somehow look really, really cool.
Yeah.
But he also still looks like a kid, which I like.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he looks a little older, but overall they still capture.
I think they made Cell. They like animated Cell to be a lot bigger.
They did at one point intentionally.
Yeah.
Like in next episode, he gets big, but that's just because he's doing the same thing Trunks did.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That's why they made him so big, and they changed his voice and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
he's
That
like
was
9 feet.
That was an actual
like
transformation, more or less, for lack of a better term.
Got new music in this episode? Or
yeah, very good.
New theme around.
It reminded me of something, but now I can't remember.
Clank is what
yes,
Ratchet and
Clank, it sounded like the original Ratchet and Clank, the menu music,
which makes sense because Bruce Falconer was making music around the same time as Ratchet and Clank. Maybe he's a video gamer.
Yeah, I think they're both just also inspired by like the same general like Western sound. Like kind of like the tech mixed with the heavy metal. I don't know. Heavy metal, is that even more like rock and roll? I guess I don't know.
Gohan way beyond needing Goku's help, and Goku tells Piccolo that.
Goku literally says like he's way beyond what I can help him out with right now.
Emo Vegeta is not happy about it. He's pissed that Goku has surpassed him, and now Goku's freaking 12-year-old son has surpassed him. And Vegeta only grows more and more pissed. But the only time we really cut back to Vegeta at all is for him to express his frustration. Which, poor guy, he wanted this so bad, and he hasn't gotten to do shit. And
he can't do shit.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, who knows? Maybe now is his chance.
Do you think there'll be this is gonna elicit a reaction out of Vegeta? What just happened to Trunks?
Oh, ooh, no. Not a reaction that you would think. Not like a father losing his son. I think it's Vegeta going to be like, if anything, I bet Vegeta's excited right now.
Excited?
Goku's not in his way. Gohan's powered down.
I think he's probably
Vegeta's
panicking.
probably like, I got this shit.
I don't think he admitted to himself that Gohan and Goku are both stronger than him, so I don't think he's in his own head right now.
He's also so cocky too.
Yeah, but I think in this situation he's like kind of oh shit, just like everyone else.
Well, at least Mr. Satan's still alive, so now's his chance.
I'm glad they at least toned him down these last few episodes.
Yeah, they did.
So Cell explodes with anger. Yeah. He's like starting to freaking lose his mind. He's like,
I can't land a hit.
I can't hit you. You're just a kid. Like you have no respect. Like it's funny because he's the perfect example of like a dude who talks big game, and then once he's not the guy he's not the top dog, he's super bitchy.
Yep. He's the guy that's like good at Call of Duty, but then he gets sniped or something, and he's blaming his teammates.
Hackers.
Or or like camping and stuff like that. And
yeah.
It's like, nah, bro, you just got bested. Get over it.
And he's like, dude, I love Cell's voice actor. Really elevates his character to another level. Like he's such a perfect. I guess it's Damian Clark, but he's awesome, man.
Yeah. I agree. He's probably my favorite. He is my favorite villainous actor.
Yeah, he's my favorite. Well, Cell's my favorite villain so far, for sure. I mean, by a significant margin.
Nappa's up there too.
So a question I wanted to ask you: do you think though? Do you think that Cell, throughout the arc, I want you to like genuinely think about it. Do you think that Cell throughout the arc has felt as much as a threat as Frieza did throughout his arc?
Nah. But only because Frieza from the get-go is like
the unstoppable force.
Yeah, he wants to destroy everything. He wants to be the ruler. Cell was never really about that. I mean, Cell, all we knew about him for tons of episodes was that he wanted to suck up the androids to get to. I mean, we knew
so he
insidious intentions, but even then, he's not like I'm taking over the world. He's like I want to fight the strongest people you've got, and then we learn. If I win, I'm gonna blow up the world.
And if I lose, I'm gonna blow up the world.
And I'm not and I'm not even necessarily sure he like wants to do that. I think it's more of like his way of getting people to come fight him.
I do too.
Like he knows Goku wants to save the world, so why not threaten the world's livelihood to get Goku to fight?
Yeah, and I really like how they flip something on their head there. Yeah, I agree. Frieza does feel like throughout the arc, he is like the like this overbearing force that like everyone knows there's no chance.
He's got minions, he's got a ship, he's killing people when they say something wrong to him, like
and he's got like 3 or 4 transformations and then he goes 100% power and he's even stronger. And anyway, so he's like this unstoppable force throughout his arc, whereas throughout the whole Namek arc, whereas Cell gets his ass kicked several times up until this point, but he gets his transformations. Anyway, the reason I ask is because I think it's really cool how they flipped this trope on its head, where Cell, after he's like getting super mad and Gohan's kind of trash talking him a little bit, Cell he's like, all right, well now I'm going to show you my full power. And he powers up to his 100%, and everyone's like, whoa, he powered up a lot. and Gohan is still effortlessly beating him.
He powers up to I wrote Ultra Cell because it sounds cool, and then he immediately goes. It's a kick or a punch right to Gohan's face, and Gohan's face is like stretching, like animation wise, to like show it's a strong punch. And I already wrote down like he's tanking that. And he did tank that. He
tanked
like,
it, dude. He just looked at him.
He boom, looks right back at him and Cell's like shit in his face.
Is that all you got?
Yeah.
And then
he counters with his own punches.
And this is the first hit, I think, since he turned Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
Well, one's a gut punch. The first one's the gut punch.
That's right.
And it's deep.
Yeah, he like Gohan like winds that thing back.
Yeah.
He's like back here.
And then
just boom.
And it's in there, bro. And it's like it sinks in there. And
I thought it was going through for a second because it like deep.
Yeah, and Cell starts drooling, and he can't talk or he can't breathe, and then he gives him the Shoryuken to the face.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
so good.
Like literally straight up Shoryuken.
Yeah.
And Cell is like done.
Yeah.
Like 2 punches, and he even says himself, he's like 2 hits, and I'm like
all of my power.
Yeah, and I'm like done.
He's doing the backup slowly thing, falling at the same time.
Yeah, he's like tripping over himself. He's drooling.
Yeah, his breath's taken away. Like he is not doing great.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, my only, not frustration, I guess, just like as a viewer, I'm just like, I'm with Goku where I'm like, Gohan, just come on, dude.
Oh,
like,
of course, you're supposed to feel that way.
Do it. Come on, you're toying. And he's not even really toying. It's just, I think Gohan isn't just like that killer. Like he's not the go for the final punch. He's, I don't know, he's different.
He literally says, I want him to suffer. I think it's a matter of, his personality is very different in this state of mind, in this state of being.
And he I don't know if it's this episode or the next one, but he's toying. He's telling Cell, and he's like taunting him. He's like, "You asked for this, bro.
Yeah,
I didn't even want to do this, and now that I'm here, you're being a little bitch."
No, I do think that Gohan plans on killing Cell.
Yeah,
for sure. And but he literally is like trying to torture him.
Yeah, he learns the hard way that you can't taunt too much.
Well, once you back an animal into a corner, it does something desperate. Like that's the whole lesson here.
It gets real big,
and that's what Goku was trying to tell him.
Yeah. So he's got the wind knocked out of him. I love that part because it shows Piccolo in the background, or it's Vegeta, one of the two. And it's Goku up front, and like I think it's Vegeta behind him, and it's like focused on Vegeta, and Vegeta's like, "Oh my God, holy shit!" And then it just pan focus to Goku, and Goku just smiles. Mm-hmm. And it's like proud dad moment.
Yeah. Super I love how much they do focus shifts in the show. I don't think I've seen another anime where they like oftentimes do the focus shift.
It's a weird thing to do in animation because it's used a lot in regular like media camera shooting, but it's interesting to
I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah, because like, in real
you
shows
have to probably have 2 layers.
Yeah, exactly. You have 2 people standing next to each other and you just focus, but like animation's different.
Right, because if you draw them on the same layer, then they're not. It's not.
You can't focus on them.
Right, you can't focus shift, but there must be 2 layers when they do that. I would think.
Very cool technique.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's my last note. I don't remember.
No, that's where it ends.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So spoiler alert: I gave all 3 episodes a 7.
I gave this one a 6. Mm-hmm. I could probably give it a 7, but spoilers. We got some 7s coming.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like this one. If of the 3, this would be the 6, but it's so good that it's still a 7.
Yeah.
But the next 2 are like a couple of the best episodes of Dragon Ball Z we've ever watched.
I agree. Dang, my pen's running out for some reason. Episode 187, Cell's Breakdown.
So double entendre.
Yeah.
Cell's Breakdown and Cell's Breakdown. Because they actually put a space in Breakdown in the episode title. That. Yeah. It's awesome.
My first note right off the bat. So we're picking right back up. Gohan is he's walking towards Cell now, and it's like so sick looking. Gohan's hair,
it's so
sick.
good.
It's all so up. Good. He's got like the one bang. Piece. So sick.
Mm-hmm. And I love the lightning. Like I told you already, the lightning indicates that it's that Super Saiyan 2 level. And if you notice something at the end of the last episode we watched. Subtle's got that lightning now, which he never had before.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still, the whole Cell, like, and who's inside of him, like, Cell-wise, is interesting. Because, like, he's using other people's moves, and he's powering up, and I'm like, is that a Cell power-up, or is he powering up by way of a Saiyan Cell, or this or that? It's interesting.
It's just it's a potluck.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice.
It's a hot pot.
So he is walking and he gets Cell more and more pissed, and Cell he creates 2 Destructo Discs, the double Destructo Disc.
Nah, dude, before that, that's when Gohan catches his kick.
That's right. Yeah.
And freaking returns a kick, and like once again, like he counter kicks, and it's like a brutal return.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we get the double Destructo Disc.
And so he tosses them, and as we know, Destructo Discs cut through mountains, let alone people and stuff. But
and
Gohan
Frieza, who's super durable.
Catches them.
Yeah.
And he doesn't throw them back, does he?
No, he dissipates them.
Yeah. And then what was next?
Special beam cannon.
Special beam cannon, and I wrote DBZ's hyper stylized shots are so dope because we cut
Dude.
to like it's like yellow and with like purple shadows, and they
the lighting is so
sick.
That is, if you think about it, like that art direction is incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
Like, do you even like having that concept? Like the move special beam cannon has kind of got that purple and yellow hue.
Yeah.
And like the concept of like shifting the lighting, like that's got to be so hard to pull off.
Yeah,
like
well, it's
with
not
the
realistic
colors
too, so you can't even look at like examples.
Right. It's such a it's like extremely like exaggerated and stylized.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really freaking cool.
And they do that a lot with
and it looks
shots.
awesome every time.
Yeah. And they do a couple of shots like that. They show the Z fighters. They show Gohan. And they show Cell, all in that yellow. Basically, they're yellow, and the shadows in the shots are purple, and it looks so freaking.
Yeah, and he yeets the special beam cannon. He just deflects it towards the sky, and it explodes.
At this point, this is where I wrote Goku, come on, beat that ass, because I want it to happen, and I think it's
Gohan's being a little brat now.
Yeah, Goku's picking up on it too. Goku's getting more and more anxious for Gohan.
Goku keeps yelling at him like, "Hey, it's time! Like, let's make this happen." And
like,
Gohan
really
just kind of looks at him and smiles.
Yeah, Goku's like, really
I want
yelling.
him to suffer.
Like he's proud dad, but also like mad dad. Come on, Gohan. Let's see. Cell has got one more move left.
Rapid fire.
Oh, that's right. Rapid fire.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a reference
to
something someone's used.
But then he uses one more. And by the way, the rapid fire is just they hit Gohan. It doesn't even affect him. And Cell's like, how the hell? Then Cell's like, all right, I got one more for you. Jumps up into the sky. Big old Kamehameha.
Did you think he was running away? Because they kind of frame it like he's like, oh shit, and he like tries to run away.
I actually knew he was gonna do a Kamehameha only because we were doing like everyone's moves, and I was like, the big
fair.
ones. And the Kamehameha is the one that can end the world. Yeah. So I thought he was gonna try to end the world here, like as a coward.
That is exactly what he was doing.
And he shoots it, and everyone's like, oh my god, why is he doing that? He's gonna blow up the world. Piccolo's losing his mind.
Everyone legit freaks out. Like even Goku freaks out.
There's nowhere for them to go. Gohan doesn't even flinch. Gets his own Kamehameha going. Right. It's his own, or does he count? Does he grab his and throw it back?
It's his own. Yeah.
Yeah, he hits Cells with his own. Big old explosion, very nice. And obviously Cell's Kamehameha does not work. Let's see. And I thought it blasted him out to space because we show a shot of the beam going out to space, but it's not. Cell's in the sky. And he's lost his arm, one of his arm, his left arm, and both his legs, I believe. Yeah. Or one of his legs. And both his headpiece, I don't know if it's his ears or if it's like a crown thing or whatever.
Carapace.
Yeah, that is broken too. And that's where we end off on the episode. Cell is badly damaged in the sky, and he is not doing great.
Yeah, we get a little more... we get a quick flashback to the hyperbolic time chamber. That's where right. Goku... So this is the reveal of how Goku knew that this plan would work. He actually got a flash of the Super Saiyan 2 in the hyperbolic time chamber. They were training...
Sorry about the dogs.
Yeah. They were training. Gohan was like pooped. They were both pooped. We've been training for 20 hours. Like, let's call it a day. And Gohan's like, I want to keep going. And then he like...
Goku walks away, and then there's some light happening, and he turns around, and Gohan is going into Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, he flashes into Super Saiyan 2. The lightning comes out, and then he just passes out or whatever. But Goku is like, okay, like I see the power that he has. And then we get the line from Cell. He's starting to freak out and loses cool even more. And he's like, you're not a boy, you're a monster. So this is when in this episode, this is when he gets really big. Goku's yelling at him like, hey, finish him off because he's dripping blood and his limbs are lost. And he's like, almost dead, I guess you could say. And then, but Gohan intentionally allows him to regenerate because that's when he says he wants him to suffer. He regenerates. He gets bigger. He's so mad, like he's losing his temper, and he gets really big. He crashes down. He's like legit like 10 feet tall now, and he's way bigger. And he's made the same mistake as Trunks. So like he's so big now that he can't there's no chance to even hit him.
Gohan doesn't even have to try to dodge. I mean, he's dodging, but it's not like it's effortless.
And this is when we get the start of the throw up because so Gohan kicks him in the face. It is a intense face kick, and then he punches him in the stomach again. Mm-hmm. And that's when Cell like starts getting sick. Like he's starting to throw up. His eyes are pointing in different directions. He's
like
drooling
bulging up, and it's like a lot of throw up. I didn't know what was going on at first.
And he's being sick. Yeah. So did you think he was like legitimately going to throw? It was like 3 minutes of him like gagging Piccolo's and like starting to throw up.
His power is literally leaving him. So I was like, oh, I guess they're just like manifesting his power as like vomit. But it turns out like no, his powers being other humans that he's consumed are literally leaving. specifically Android 18 spat back onto the ground.
And we get the return of the lips at the beginning of the next episode.
Very cool.
But yeah, I gave it a 7, like I said.
Yeah, I gave it a 7.
It's an easy 7. It's an amazing episode, man.
Yeah.
And then moving on, we go episode 188, A Hero's Farewell. Glad you didn't see that one.
Yeah, I know. So these are just always spoiler.
For a
while we thought they weren't, but then
it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, the return of the lips.
Krillin is right back to his old ways. That's my first note. That's because the second he sees 18, he tries to run out there. Piccolo stops him.
Mm-hmm. Don't touch her.
You know Krillin, he got that electric pee-pee rod.
Yep.
I love that like people tuning in maybe to just this episode are like, what the hell?
That's a must watch too. I don't even remember. That was probably episode 30 something, 38 maybe. I don't even know. It was around
when Krillin has the detonator and he's supposed
so that
to
was
blow.
Probably mid 40s.
Yeah, mid 40s. But it's our running joke of Krillin being obsessed.
He's got the electric lightning rod.
All because he got a kiss on the cheek from her once.
On his pee-pee.
A toy kiss, not even like a real one. She was toying with him.
Like when a lightning bolt strikes the tip of your pee-pee.
Back to old Cell.
Which was, by the way, a reference to Step Brothers, but just like brutalized reference.
Old Cell, imperfect Cell, as some would say. I was not expecting to see the old lippy lip Cell.
Yeah, his tail stretches back out. He's full on semi-perfect again.
Yeah,
and now it's really a matter of like finish him now. They fight. They continue to fight though. Yeah. So I don't know why Cell's even bothering, but it's just desperation at this point.
Yeah, Gohan is just blocking.
Stomping him.
I don't even think he's blocking. I think he's just actually taking them.
And he hits him a few times, and it's nothing.
Then we get a cool shot of Piccolo. Piccolo's proud father now. Goku and Piccolo are feeling pretty good right now because Piccolo's like, oh, this is the end. It's over. Like, we did it. I remember a couple episodes ago I predicted that, not predicted, I just thought it would be cool if Cell goes like through his stages back to like a bug and then
Dude, when you said that, I was like, dude, that's crazy because he does revert back to semi-perfect.
My whole thing was like he keeps going lower and lower until he's a bug and then Gohan finishes off by literally squashing him. I was kind of right.
I try really hard. Like when you make predictions that end up being like fairly close to what actually happens, I'm pretty good at the poker face.
All right, next up. All right.
Because when you go through and edit, I don't want to be like, ooh, he predicted it.
But obviously that's not what happens. But I was like, oh shoot,
close though.
Oh shoot. But
that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
If you actually for sure predicted that.
It would have been. It's a little tropey, so that's why I predicted it. But Dragon Ball Z said, "Fuck your tropes."
Yeah.
Instead, we're getting big
Cell. He's like a big boy.
Cell.
Bigger than Big Yoshi. Bigger than Big Chungus.
I had no idea what was going on. I was like, don't remember this part of Cell.
Right.
I don't understand what's going on. He's just getting bigger, and then he's standing in front of Gohan, and he's like, "This is your end." And I'm like, "Is he gonna like fall on him or something?" Or, but no, we learned that
bariatric Cell.
Yeah, Cell is going to. Is that what it's called?
Bariatric means like it's like the medical term for obese.
He's basically gonna blow himself up, self-detonate, which would blow up the Earth. Obviously, his main priority is taking Gohan with him, which Gohan's on Earth, so he can't do anything about it.
And Gohan's like, "No, you won't. I'll just finish it now." And he's like, "Dude, if you touch me, I'm blowing."
Yeah, and he's getting bigger and bigger.
It's like when you are just on the edge.
Yeah.
It's like one cool breeze, bro.
Yeah, you're on
cool breeze, and I'm busting.
Yeah, you're on a ship. The wind blows, and there it is.
There it goes.
I was gonna try to figure out something to say with Cell, but I can't. Anyway, couldn't think of it. He's gonna blow up, and he's basically counting down. There's like a minute left, and everyone's freaking out. Gohan is really upset with himself.
Essentially gives up. He reverts back to Super Saiyan 1.
Powers down. He's slamming into the ground. He's being a little kid again. He's upset. He's telling himself, "I should have taken Cell out when I had the chance." And Goku looks to his friends, and he's like,
"Did you know?"
I actually didn't know. I was like, I don't know. I just didn't think it was gonna happen. But the second Goku, like,
as soon as he says like goodbye, and he's like looking back, and you can kind of just see it. Yeah.
He's like, "All right, friends, it's been great. I gotta go now. This is my time." He puts those 2 fingers to his forehead. Instant transmissions to Cell. We already know what's happening. He says goodbye to Gohan. He says, "I'm really proud of you, son. You did excellent work out there. Take care of your mom for me. It's really sad." And then he instant transmissions himself and Cell into space. And then we get the biggest explosion I think we've had in
you literally watch them get vaporized.
Yeah, they get vaporized. There's like 7 stages of explosion in terms
impressive.
of colors and stuff. King Kai's planet blows up, which is incredible. Love that. Don't even understand how that works.
King Kai is now dead.
Yeah.
Also, not that it even matters.
Oh my God, he is dead. Yeah.
He had a halo over his head.
I was like, they got halos, but I was like, oh, they always do. But
no, they don't.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And he's essentially like a god, for lack of a better term. He's like how Kami is the guardian of Earth. He's like the guardian of Otherworld or whatever, Snake Way. Yeah.
Heaven.
They get more into it. But
yeah, so we cut to Goku, and he is in Snake Way, and King Kai is pissed off, calling Goku a pest, very happy-go-lucky, because King Kai's planet's gone, they're all dead, blah, 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 making jokes, and then King Kai's like, you know what, something's weird here, where is Cell? And he's kind of like mumbling to himself, and Goku's like, what do you mean where's Cell? What are you talking about, dude? I blew him up. And King Kai's like, well, if you blew him up and he died, he would be here with us right now. And Goku's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. We cut back to Earth, and we have Gohan. Alrighty.
And as soon as we get the revelation from King Kai, something starts we sense a little something on Earth.
Yeah, we cut to our heroes, and they're pretty broken right now. They're all, it's like shell shock. One, Gohan is powering down from a state of being that he is not used to. And the other Z fighters are like, shit, dude.
Krillin's right before this, Krillin's like trying to help Android 18 or whatever.
But But he's got that robot on his mind, you know what I'm saying?
And all of a sudden, we get
a big old like explosion on Earth. Lots of dust, big old yellow ball, there's electricity going on in there, some blue electricity. What's going on? For a second, I was like, they're going to fake us out. This isn't Cell. This is going to be like the next villain. I was wrong. Because all of a sudden, through the smoke comes a yellow beam. I don't really know exactly what it is.
It's just an energy beam.
Yeah, it's a killing blow. We do the classic Frieza shot. We go through all of our heroes. Nope, not Krillin, not Vegeta.
Did you even have the chance to think about who it might hit?
Nah, it was too quick. I was like, they showed Krillin first, and I was like, no.
No, not again.
But it goes past everybody, and boom, hits Trunks, and it's a open wide circle right through his chest. There's blood tripping out immediately. And he flies back, and Trunks is got to be dead. 100%, I think he's dead. And then we hear some laughter, and it is old Cell.
That damned laugh.
Yeah, and I'm like, don't end it right here. We got a little bit more, so I was happy, because we could hear the laugh, and then we hear like him saying, like, I'm back, and I'm feeling good, or something along those lines. And then we cut to a close-up, and we pan up, and we got his little hand, and it's white, and I'm like, shit.
Back in perfect
That's
form.
perfect Cell. Yeah. And sure enough, it's perfect Cell. He's laughing his ass off, and he's back.
All right, obvious 7.
Yeah, obvious 7.
So I need to hear. I'm kind of glad we aren't doing a double, because I want to know what you think. You have to tell me, how is he back? What's going to happen?
I'm legitimately confused.
Because Gohan powered down.
Yeah, Gohan powered down.
We know no one else is strong enough for a fact. There's no argument.
We also know they haven't tried to fight together yet.
Right.
I think that's what they're going to have to do. But I'm confused on a lot of fronts. I don't understand how Cell's back at all. Maybe it's a different universe's Cell, but this is the only universe Cell where we know of where Cell doesn't die. Like, we killed our Cell in this timeline. Krillin and Trunks killed him as a little not vegetable.
Assuming it is the same Cell, like, what is your prediction?
God, dude, I really
how
don't
could
know.
he have come back?
I'm trying to think, like, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I really don't know. Maybe the Cell that blew up was not Cell.
It was Cell.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying. I know, like, maybe it was like one of his. Maybe he used Piccolo's technique. Multiform. Or whatever. Yeah, multiform, and faked everybody out. But yeah, I don't know.
But he still doesn't have Android 18, and he's back in perfect form.
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to bring up, is like, how the hell. That's why I'm thinking it has maybe a different timeline, but that would be kind of weird to just have a new Cell. For a second, I thought maybe when he goes up to space, that before we even knew Cell was coming back, I was like, wait, he's going to bring him up to space, and Cell's going to be like Superman or something, where the sun or being in space like makes him even more powerful. But no, he blows up. It's a big old freaking explosion. I don't know, because he was big Cell, bariatric Cell, when he blew up.
Yeah, I mean, he was semi-perfect Cell, and he got big and then exploded.
Maybe the explosion, the vaporization of Goku powered up Cell. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, because it was a strong enough explosion to freaking vaporize Goku, so you would go ahead and assume that it also...
And we know Cell is powered by cells of other people, so I'm going to say that he just got all of Goku's cells. But I don't even think that would be enough, because...
Yeah, but
Goku is
he's created from cells of other people. That doesn't mean he's like... Well, I guess if there's a way he could have absorbed him, but he...
That's what I'm saying.
Because
maybe
Goku died. There's no body... I mean...
Yeah. I got no idea. I literally got no idea. And that's why I wanted to watch another episode, because I immediately wanted to find out. I'm pissed. Trunks is dead. Been saying that from the start, though, that Trunks is the most disposable, because we can do a flash forward later, or we can just...
But it's still two different characters.
It is. No, I mean, for sure. But, like, as far as having another Trunks, it's the easiest to do.
For Trunks fans, yeah, like, if there were a time skip, I guess you could have another Trunks.
But... And they don't necessarily have to make him a different person. I mean, they could just make him the same exact Trunks, and... but that's the least of my concerns right now. I am pretty pissed that Trunks is dead.
It's actually very freaking tragic.
Yeah, and I wonder if, because it's like the one enemy he tried to stop.
And he came back in time to save his own timeline.
From the same fate.
Right, because when he went back, he'd be stronger and stuff.
I wonder, I don't think Cell chose Trunks on purpose, though. I think maybe he was, I don't know. Shit,
it's extremely entertaining hearing you deliberate. I just want you to know that. I mean, I think that's what a lot of people look forward to.
This is the biggest cliffhanger of the show.
Oh, for sure.
Like, we really don't even get cliffhangers in this show much, and a lot of that's because we watch 3 episodes at a time. So, if they have cliffhangers, we often mitigate it by watching the next episode. But
back when I watched this for the first time, when I was a wee boy, it was spoiled for me.
Really?
My best friend at the time told me after Cell explodes, he comes back.
Damn.
And so I knew.
Well, Cell explodes in the same episode, doesn't he?
Yes, but it wasn't like this was like when the Cell stuff started, I think is where I was at. And I told my friend like, yeah, and he was like, oh yeah, at one point he explodes, but then he comes back. And I'm just like, sweet.
Bruh.
That's like a different person actually spoiled for me what happens in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. He told me who the Half-Blood Prince is while I was reading the beginning of the book with the book in my hand.
What's up with people that don't understand what spoilers are?
And I was just like, dude, I could freaking punch you in the face.
If I haven't seen anything or played anything or watched something, if you tell me anything about it, I consider it a spoiler. Now,
agreed.
Some spoilers aren't as bad as others. If you tell me you enjoyed it, that's a spoiler to me, especially if like it's someone like Brandon, because I know his interest. But I don't mind that because I'm like, fine. But God, when people do spoil shit like that, ridiculous. It's like Dragon Ball Z saying "A Hero's Farewell" is the name of this episode. I would have guessed Gohan. I wouldn't have guessed Goku though.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm like, Gohan is going to take him up into space. I knew Cell was going
sacrifice
up into space.
himself?
I thought he was just going to like fly him up. But yeah, Goku doing it makes so much more sense.
So, Goku can't be wished back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is Dragon Ball Z, and
This is the thing that sucks about Dragon Ball Z being so big culturally, is that I know Goku's coming back. I don't necessarily know if he's coming back in Z, but
I'm gonna leave you with this. Do you? I know it seems like you know that like things are the way that they are, but you?
I mean, I've seen Goku like in a movie.
Yes.
That takes place after this timeline.
Does it?
That's a fair point. Are we just gonna jump to a different timeline and
I'm just saying maybe you don't know as much as you think you might know.
That's fair. Maybe the writers are like, all right, we've written ourselves into a corner. We're just gonna jump timelines and pick up there.
Jump timelines. That would be very annoying. Hopefully they don't do that.
Maybe this is Gohan's show now. I'm excited to see how the show becomes not Gohan's show. Because now I don't give a fuck about Goku. I obviously still care about Goku, but I want Gohan to be
the main character.
The Goku now. He's stronger. I want to see where he goes with that power. And now I'm interested to find out why Goku remains the Dragon Ball Z character. Because Gohan is...
Do you think that Gohan is as compelling of a main character as Goku? Like, do you think that fans, like, put yourself in the perspective of the time, do you think that the fans are okay with Goku being gone, because he is, and Gohan being the main character now?
I think so. Because Gohan has gone through... Goku got the same growth pretty much, especially if you watch Dragon Ball. Like, we've watched Gohan go from a little kid to an adult to the father, now passing on those lessons to his son. And I really like what they're doing with Gohan, who is this not fighter that is the strongest fighter. Mm-hmm. It's a cool dynamic. Like, to be so powerful that you could beat anybody, and then not necessarily wanting to be that. Like, he's like Superman, but he doesn't want to be the savior
How
necessarily.
do you think Vegeta will react to Goku's death? Well, first off, they're in a pickle right now, obviously.
Yeah.
But like
last time
so
Goku
he doesn't have time to
died,
react.
Vegeta immediately started plotting how to take over after Namek. He was the first episode back on Earth with all the Namekians, and Bulma was trying to gather everyone up.
Do you think that's still in his head?
No, I don't think so. But I don't know. Vegeta is an interesting character right now because, well, we just haven't really gotten much from him in a minute.
Well, he's really hard to read too sometimes.
He
Like
is.
I think he's a really deep character in that like there are things going on in his head that you have to not analyze, but almost I guess analyze is fine. Like I think he's very complex as a person.
Yeah, I agree.
But last major question. Now that Cell is back, how long does it take for this to be over? 1 episode? 5 episodes?
I'm going to guess.
10 episodes?
I'm going to guess. So we're talking end of Cell Saga or just like
for this to be over. Cell Saga over. Presumably
I'm going to throw another 20 episodes up.
Do you think
Actually,
20?
I'm going to say 201 looks good. What is 201 minus 188?
13
Okay.
or 12.
Yeah, we're going to go. No, that's got to be minimum another 15 episodes.
Okay. So how do you think they fill that out?
I think we're going to see a lot more deaths, which I always predict whenever a villain comes. Like, I'm always waiting for the bloodbath. I think we could be getting it this time.
Do you think Gohan's the one to beat him?
No. I think it's got to be...
Who is the one who, if he were to be defeated, who is the one who does it?
I don't know. We've got 18 back. That's a wild card. 18 is not strong enough to beat Cell, but
No.
she's back for a reason. Unless they really were just like, people really think she's sexy, bring her back. Toriyama, and he was like, okay.
Because he didn't spit out 17.
No, he didn't spit out no one. I was like, oh, he's gonna like, we're gonna see like souls going everywhere. Like,
Nope, just 18.
Just 18. Which a fan favorite, sure. I think she's got something to do with it. But shit, man, I don't know. I kind of want it to be Vegeta, just because I think he's earned his due.
To clean up his mess, basically.
Yeah, he's been patient.
Yeah, but he's the sole reason that we're in this situation.
What do you mean?
He allowed Cell to absorb
That's right.
18
Yeah.
and become perfect. He is the reason.
Yeah.
So do you think that he cares to even absolve that?
No, I think Vegeta's just in it for the fight at this point. But I don't know. We'll see. I need to see his reaction to Trunks dying. I think that will reveal a lot as far as...
So yeah, we got two sides of the coin here. He doesn't care, which
Highly
as far as
plausible.
we can tell, he doesn't care because he's even punched him in the face. Or he secretly cares a lot.
Yeah.
And that elicits a reaction.
Not to mention, if we're going with that side of the coin, he's really scared already because he knows he's not strong enough to beat Cell. He knows Trunks is pretty freaking strong, like right up there with him. And now Trunks is dead. So Vegeta's probably like, shit, I could be next.
Do you think that we could see a Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta?
God, I hope so.
That would be tight.
I want some Vegeta action. It's time. Like, we got our Goku, we got our Gohan. I want some Piccolo too, but I know Piccolo his dog's not really in this race right now. I think Piccolo and Gohan are gonna go. I think they're gonna do their thing. Maybe. I mean, Piccolo's number one concern is Gohan at all times, basically in this show. Vegeta. I think this is Vegeta's fight now. It's got to be.
And one last question, actually.
Last time.
Is that from Memphis?
Yeah, Memphis.
Oklahoma? One last question was, so say the Cell arc ends. How does the next episode start? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think it just picks right up, or what do you think happens?
I think it'll go one of two ways. It's either going to go badly, and by badly I mean some BS, typical filler type stupid stuff, or actually 3 ways, or a time jump to get Trunks on board with everybody as far as age.
How much of a
Trunks
time
back.
jump? They would have to time jump
like
like 20 years.
15 years minimum, because Trunks is what, like 1?
So then Gohan would be like almost 30.
Yeah.
And Goku would be, of course,
Long,
gone.
Super dead.
Yeah, right. Just a memory.
That seems the least likely. The only reason I even think that's happening is because Trunks is dead. But who knows? And then I also think, I don't know. I think it'd be cool if we got right into the next saga, like next villain.
You think that's what it'll be? It'll be a new villain as soon as we start off?
I don't necessarily think that, but I would like that only because we usually do have some slower episodes in
what
between.
Is if it was if the next arc started as the last thing you expected, like completely something you didn't expect, what do you think it would be?
It's tough because I'm pulling in like stuff that other stories and writers have done, but like I would like to see Goku brought back Superman Return style and he's evil, and like Gohan versus Goku would be sick, like an evil Goku. Not necessarily evil, but like
there's an evil Goku in one of the movies, one of the early movies. It's not actually Goku. It's a guy who looks exactly like Goku. His name is Turles.
That sounds like such a Dragon Ball Z.
The Tree of Might. They fight over like a forbidden fruit that makes you immortal or something like that. I never watched it. I've never seen it. I've never seen most of the Dragon Ball Z movies.
That sounds like such a Dragon Ball Z movie.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what I would like to see. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen because I don't know. I just don't. But
Evil Goku is definitely like a fanfic type situation.
Yeah. Shit, I don't even know, and I have no idea who the next villain could be. Maybe I mean, it's obviously someone probably coming from not Earth. I think maybe it could be a situation. I predicted this a lot earlier when Vegeta like almost blew up the planet. That like somebody out there in space senses the power happening on Earth, and they're intrigued by the fight, so they come this way. But I mean, I don't know. You could say about anybody really. I honestly have no idea. I just want to watch these next damn episodes.
Yeah, me too.
I hate that we have to work. Work is stupid.
Why
can't we just watch Dragon Ball Z? You know
why can't you get us more viewers? Retweet the tweets. Tell your friends. We've been averaging up. Our views are getting higher and higher, and we freaking love our viewers.
Ideal world, we quit our day jobs and we watch all of Dragon Ball Z.
But I'm talking, let's get us up to 1 billion views, up there with Gangnam Style, okay? Like, let's get there now because we've worked hard for a while.
Yeah.
We've been at this for 2 years almost.
Yeah. 1.5 really. COVID
no, in September.
Well, I mean, like last year because.
Well, work was tough, but almost 2 years from episode 1 of Dragon Ball Speak. We used to be pretty bad about our uploading schedule, but now we're good about it, and that algorithm is favoring that because our views are going up.
Yeah, the YouTube algorithm is.
She's a beast. She's a mysterious, cruel mistress.
Yeah, she is.
Anyway, great discussion. I'm so excited to watch again. I know you are too.
Ladies and gentlemen, talking about. We usually do like a week in between recordings, but we're already like.
Maybe we'll record tomorrow morning
because I want more.
Yes. Drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscribe. I hate myself. Yeah. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Speak.